Good morning team, my name is Rob Wilson and this is my market analysis for Monday the 16th of April. Going into this session, I am a seller at any weakness I perceive between 131 to 131.20, and I'm a buyer of any weakness I see between 130.35 to 130.50. If you want to know why, pin your ears back and we'll get into it. So going into this session, we can see that Friday's movement was pretty meaningful. Here it is. What essentially happens there is you've got a consolidation of this previous thrust to the downside being turned back at the 50% fib level and breaking not just one but two upward sloping support areas or support lines. And on the one hand, this could be indicative of a renewed thrust to the downside, which could take us a fair old way. However, on the other hand, you can see here that price hasn't yet managed to break through shadow rising support which kicked off in February. Now it's been tested once and now twice, and we're hovering a little way above it. And that rising support level could well turn price back, as it has done 3 times in the past. So that's something I want to be aware of. Homing in on the action, you can see that above price we've got a pretty clear resistance level at this rising now resistance line. We've got resistance at 131 even based on the lower limit of last week's range, and then just above that you've got the 23% retracement level, the fib level. So this is really this is the rationale for my resistance zone, and I'll be looking for sell trades up here if I see weakness in price action. And then down below price you've got to see a support zone which is delineated by the most recent low here made on the 10th of April at 1500, and you can see the base there. You've got a further low down here, the absolute low of the most recent down thrust around the 130 to 135 level, and you've also got this daily rising support level here delineated in blue. So that's really my support level. And again, if I see any weakness there in conviction, I'll be looking to get into the market long and trade the reaction to that. Turning now to the session itself, obviously, first thing to note is it's a Monday morning, which can be quiet. Okay, looking at news, market-moving news. Well, there's a little bit. One when London opens, 3:15, 4, and 5 o'clock Eastern time. But what I really note here is a whole volley of fairly meaningful numbers coming out of North America at 8:30 Eastern. Got core retail sales and retail sales month on month, and that's followed by more releases at 9 and 10 o'clock in the morning before an FOMC member speaks at 12:30. So what I pick up from here is there's a lot of news in America, which could mean that that London AM is pretty quiet. So this is what my chart looks like going into the session. You can see I've marked off swing low and swing high points here just above and below price. I expect those to get defeated within the session, perhaps even overnight. And then I've got resistance marked off at 131, the fib level marked at 131.20, and then I've got further resistance up at 31.40. But frankly, by this stage, as far as I'm concerned, the short term at least, the down move is off and we've moved back into the range. And then down below price we've got support at 130.50, and then again at about 130.35 to 130.30, and between those two levels you've got this longer term daily rising support. I've also marked off the news releases in Europe, 3:15, 4 and 5, and then these heavy American numbers at 8:30. So what does it all mean? Okay, well, moving into this session in the immediate term, I'm anticipating some sort of range, but with the potential to break out to the downside and a resumption of this trend. And if we do get that, it could be meaningful. In terms of structure, as I said, I've got resistance marked off between 131 and 131.20, and support at 130.50 to 135. I also noting this daily rising support which hasn't yet been broken through. News, I've got big numbers coming out at 8:30 Eastern, so AM London could be quiet. With respect to my plan then, coming into this session I will try to have absolutely no bias, and I'll be looking for reaction at the key levels we've spoken of. I'll be watching 131 to 131.20 above price and 130.50 to 135 below it. if we get a convicted break, I'll be looking to trade any short-term pullback short, get in short, and if that happens, I'll be targeting 130 to 129.70. Okay, that's your lot. I hope it's been of use to you. Good luck in your trading today. See you this time at this place tomorrow.